everybody. This is Betsy Furler with Grateful Grieving, and I'm here with my friend Catherine Dane. Everyone else calls her Kat. And we are here to talk about grief and life and everything that goes with it. Today might be a little different than our other podcasts because, for one thing, I'm sitting on the couch because I am not having the best day of my life. And so you're gonna get to hear us complain a little bit. Hey,
You know
Catherine.
what? It's interesting. I can hear it in your voice that you're a little bit tired or there's a little stress in your voice. I can hear it.
So I'm tired. I just got back from Vegas last night. More on that in a minute. And I got home to horrible weather, in my opinion. I mean, it's not like we're having a hurricane or anything, but it's like wet and drippy and yuck, and gray and dreary. And my brain does not do well with that.
It makes me a little tired. Yeah, we have rain down here too. And like this morning when I woke up, I thought it should be light out. Why isn't it light out? It was still kind of dingy and dreary with all the cloud cover. Um, and that was at 7 a.m. It should be
Oh,
sparkly
yes.
by
Well,
7.
I was, I've traveled 5 out of 6 times. 5 times. I have 6 trips scheduled. I've already gone on 5 of them since January 15th. So we haven't done any podcasts and I'm kind of tired and I'm a little, a tiny bit jet lagged, I think,
Yeah.
because I was in, um, there's my mail coming through the front door. Um, I was on an amazing cruise with my sorority sisters. And then I was so that was out of Florida. And then, so East Coast time. Then I was home for 3 days. Then I went to Vegas, which is West Coast time. So it's been a lot of time changes. But I will survive. And I did sleep well last night. So I slept about 8 hours regardless. Um, so anyway, I thought today we might talk about what helps with grief and what hurts with grief. I don't know if you've been on with me before, Kat, when my Zoom just like starts doing those reactions.
Yeah. Are you
Just random. I'm not even touching the computer. Look, here in
somebody
my
else
hand.
is somebody else is listening?
Maybe it's Henry Angel. Who knows?
Maybe.
So,
I
or
mean,
Daniel.
Daniel, it could be Daniel. He'd be going, Betsy, just you wait. Like, yeah, because I've been traveling a bit. Hockey season ended and we lost in the first round, but um, that was okay. I think it was a long season. We had a lot of things go on this year. And so we decided we were going to go to Colorado and do some hiking and rafting, and then realized the weather, they ended up with about 8 inches of snow. So we made a decision to go to New York City, the five of us. And I'll
Fun.
tell you what, that it was so much fun. I mean, the highlight was probably one of the kids catching a fly ball, a home run, so not a fly, a home run ball in the out. We sat in the outfield
Wow.
at the Yankee game. They were so excited. Like that, we just had a really, really good time. And it was funny because during part of it, I was laughing to myself because I thought Daniel, and I've said this before on previous podcasts, Daniel loved the idea of having the hockey kids live with us, but he would not have been able to handle the chaos of it. The mess, the chaos, the whole situation.
Hmm.
I do just fine with the chaos most of the time. And if Daniel had been with us in New York, it would not have been quite the same as it was. Whatever the boys wanted to do, I just followed along. And something for me that was really big, and I know this has nothing to do with grief, just sort of has to do with me growing. I did not organize the food where we ate, and I did not
Oh,
organize how we got places. I left that,
wow.
I know, right? I left that up to two or four kids, and we took the subway everywhere. And can I just say, I took an Uber from the airport to the hotel. It was $175. My kid got on
Wow.
the subway, it was $3. We took the subway as much as we could, and it was great. Enough to where I was able to do it by myself at one point. And I kind of was excited about that all on
Well,
my own.
Henry Angel is so excited for you because he loved the subway. It
Did
was like
he?
his
Oh,
favorite thing. Oh my goodness. And he was so good in New York City on the subway.
well, the kids were great, and we had one mishap where we took the wrong train to the game, and so we had to get out and walk through Harlem, which those boys had no idea the history of Harlem and you know what it is about. And I'm like, y'all, we're in Harlem, and they kept saying Harlem Globetrotters. I'm like, okay, yes, Harlem Globetrotters, but this is like Harlem, New York. We're walking
Uh-huh.
through. So it just was really neat. We had a really good time. It was a good way to kind of finish up the season. And oh, I
That's
am
awesome.
now, you know, I've had one night by myself in the house, and I already have somebody else moved in who just got here, who's staying for a couple of months because I apparently cannot live by myself. Um,
Apparently not.
and I like I like having somebody around, but not, I kind of have become, I don't know, what do you call people who bored people? What do am I? I don't know what.
You're like an Airbnb, not even an Air,
I
you know, I guess an Airbnb
I
would
am
be
a
what you
little
are.
bit, right? A free Airbnb is what I am.
Uh-huh.
Um, but anyhow, so but
Well,
I we're talking about grief when it's cloudy like this, or like today's a little bit depressing. I have to work at not being depressed in general, let alone added grief of loss.
I'm like really not a big depression person, except when the weather's like this. And then I'm just like, oh, and I'm so sleepy. But I did have a super fun weekend. So I was and speaking of something that's really helped me with my grief, and that has been LifeVantage. So you take the products also,
I do.
and
I do. I like them.
I found out about LifeVantage, I guess, right as I was about to start the separation process and divorce from my ex-husband. And I first took Protandim, which is kind of the main product of LifeVantage, and it's an amazing product that helps with oxidative stress, which is what ages us. And it's a patented product and it's NRF2 is what it is. So I started taking that. Then I started taking our amazing liquid collagen and I was having great results. So like I thought that was good that the products worked for me and helped
Hmm.
with a lot of my grief symptoms. And then ended up joining the company as a consultant. And that's when, like, that's just changed my life so much and helped me so much with grief because it's given me, like, as corny as it sounds, a family and a group
Yeah,
of
it's not
people.
corny. Yeah. That's what the hockey,
That-
that's what the hockey has done for me.
Mhm.
It's and it's, you know, I take the Protandim and I do the liquid collagen. I love both of those. I dabble in the other things here and there as needed,
Uh-huh.
and I can tell definitely as if we're not healthy in just in general, we can't take care of we can't be happy if we're not healthy. Uh,
Totally. Yeah, I think there are so many people who kind of have given up, maybe from grief from different things or depression or just life is hard for all of us and we all have, things going on all the time. But I know that I am healthier now at 58 than I've ever been in my life. And I think those products are a huge part of it. And then the fact that I love the company so much and not just the people on my team, which are fantastic and are like family to me, but like the whole feel of it and the whole
Yeah.
the conferences always like fill me up so much, which is also probably another reason, honestly, that when I come back and I'm tired and I don't have that around me anymore
Yes.
either. And
Yes.
then the weather's terrible too.
Yes. I just spent 4 days with four amazing young men who have their whole future ahead of them and they can do anything they want, right? These are smart, hardworking,
Talented. Yeah.
athletic, talented kids in so many ways. And I, I mean, we have cried together. We have celebrated. We have had mishaps. We have had an up and down year, and I am a bonus mom for them because they're not in physical presence with their parents. And
Right.
getting home Sunday, I mean, I've been kind of crying off and on since Saturday because you're right, it is a loss. Um, or sorry, not a loss. It's there's a hole there
It's a change.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because as much as I help them, they help me. Um,
Hmm.
and that's I know we've talked about you possibly having people in the house, and I believe somebody told you don't do it. Um,
Well, no, my
it,
therapist was like, you should do it, or something like Catherine does. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I like
I
my quiet,
it is, you know what? I think because I was a middle school teacher and a high school teacher and a coach, and then the business owner, where the majority of my team members are I mean, under 30, but probably a lot of them under 25. That's an age group that I do well with. Um,
Yeah. And you like that, call it chaos or call it, you know,
it's an organized
whatever.
chaos.
You like it. Yeah, yeah. You like it. I get overwhelmed by that.
I don't know how ADHD you are. I'm so random that every day is different for me. I have some things that I sort of schedule in general, but for me, yes, the randomness of every day works.
Yeah. And for me, I need more, I'm more structured.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what I think I don't do well with a bunch of chaos in my house is because I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And when there are other people here, that messes me up.
So that's interesting because I I think for people that don't know me and don't like maybe their interpretation of chaos, like it's not like there's drama in my house. It's not a dysfunctional chaos.
No,
It's
it's just
it's a
chaos.
functioning, yes, you have to be ready. With me, I have three dogs, I have four kids, anywhere from 4 to 10 kids in my house. We've got at any given time, they're boys and they're athletes, so they're eating all the time. There's always a meal being cooked in the kitchen. There's like if I want an escape, I have to go to my room and close the door, which is fine. But when you're in the house, there's something going on, and it. But again, not a. It's a positive chaos.
I think it's yeah, I mean I like being at your house with all of that going on and when the boys are there. I just don't think I would want it at my house. So I think the other thing for me is I'm a lot pickier about like my environment and my stuff. And
Oh,
I mean,
I'm not.
obviously, I wasn't like that before. So, from a grief standpoint, when Henry died, I was living in a house there were four of us, Henry and Sam. And so Sam was 17, 16, had just turned 17, and Henry was almost 23 when he died. So I was living, and we had two dogs, and my ex-husband was still here. So I had all that coming and going, and then I think during, after Henry died and Sam went off to college and I got divorced, then all of a sudden it was just me. And that was lonely and grieveful at a time for a
Right,
time.
right.
And then I'm like, wait, now I'm used to this. I like it.
So from an outside observation, I would say your grief when you lost Henry and then you also got the divorce, your life at home wasn't as peaceful as mine was. My husband died, and but we had a chaotic, crazy life too, but it was peaceful. You
Yeah.
know, you had maybe not so much peace with the ex, and then dealing with the grief of Henry also with you just in the house allowed you to find that peace. And I think that's what you really find valuable now.
Hmm.
And then
Yeah,
Sam
I
can come
like,
and visit,
yes,
but not stay. Um,
exactly. Yeah,
and
and
that,
when I was like when I'm traveling, um, when I was on the cruise with my sorority sisters, there were four of us sharing two rooms with a
a
um
connector.
connecting door thing. And then so I was with people all the time. And then but at the LifeVantage conference, I had my own room. It was actually kind of perfect because I had my own room, but yet I saw people a lot. But I
Yeah.
did some of my own sightseeing. And I will tell you, Henry Angel was must have been very excited about that conference because especially at the airport, coming and going, I was just seeing Henry signs constantly. Yesterday, I was on the phone with Sam at the airport and I kept going, "Hold on, Sam." And then finally I'm like, and I would take a picture of a butterfly. There were just butterflies everywhere. And then finally I'm like, Sam, hold on. It's Henry again. Click, take the picture, get back on the phone with Sam. It was crazy. It was like 7 or 8 times. So,
Okay, that's funny.
yeah, yeah, it was fun. And I was like, Henry's just with me all the time. And
Yeah.
I'm sure he loves this whole life vantage thing. His godparents are people that I'm in it with, and I think he's had it, he's having a good time watching me thrive. Sometimes
You,
I think he thinks it's a lot of work, but
well, you took care of Henry his whole life. You like taking care of people. I like taking care of people. We both
uh-huh.
do it differently. Um, I really took care of Daniel and other people, but now I've taken such good care of myself. I have time to do things with other people and taking care. I didn't take care of the hockey kids, but I mean, and I did.
You
Like
kind
that's
of
what we
did.
were here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and so this Life Vantage is a way for you to connect and take care of people. Because really, like the more I read, I was just reading something this morning on menopause, which I kind of linked to grief. And if you're a woman in your 40s and 50s and you're going through a loss or a divorce, and you also have perimenopause, menopause symptoms. So you've got brain fog, you've got grief, you've got like you can kind of spiral a little bit.
Difficulty
And
with weight loss and weight gain.
exactly,
Yeah.
these hot flashes up in the middle of the night, just flipping cranky for you breathe around me loudly one more time. I'm taking you out. Like I went through all of that. And um, I think it's really important for us to have a handle on our health so that
Hmm.
we're at our best so it helps navigate the grief or the loss or the divorce or the whatever it is that we're going through. It helps us navigate that so that we don't also have to worry about our stress or like our
Absolutely.
physical healthy stress.
And on that note, can you believe it's already been almost 30 minutes that we've been talking, Catherine?
Wow.
So, on that note, this episode obviously brought to you by Betsy's Life Vantage business. I am passionate about it and I would love to talk to anybody about it. who wants to hear about the products, or if you just want to message me and have me send you a link, happy to do that too, so you don't have to
Yes.
hear me talk about it.
Well, and again,
But
and
I
I
do
like
think
it
it makes
too.
a huge
Yeah.
difference in our health. I have really thrived on these products, and it's a
Hmm.
great company that's publicly traded. And just found out today that we got a patent for the Healthy Glow Stack, which is the Protandim and the collagen combination, because of the
Oh,
synergistic effects of those two products. So that's super cool. So on that note, we're going to sign off. Um, thank you, Katherine, always for joining me on this, and
you're welcome.
thank you, listeners, for listening to us. Please like, share, subscribe, all those things to our podcast, and stay tuned for more episodes. Bye, everybody.